you concede that private acts don't get immunity.
We do.
Okay, and I want to know if you agree or disagree about the characterization of these acts as private. Petitioner turned to a private attorney, was willing to spread knowingly false claims of election fraud to spearhead his challenges to the election results. Private?
As alleged. I mean, we dispute the allegation, but
Of
that
course.
sounds private to me.
Sounds private. Petitioner conspired with another private attorney who caused the filing in court of a verification signed by petitioner that contained false allegations to support a challenge.
That
Private.
also sounds private.
3 private actors, 2 attorneys, including those mentioned above, and a political consultant helped implement a plan to submit fraudulent slates of presidential electors to obstruct the certification proceeding, and petitioner and a co-conspirator attorney directed that effort.
You read it quickly. I believe that's
Yeah.
private.
So, Steve, just to underline what you're saying here, this is Amy Coney Barrett, the justice who Trump appointed, getting Trump's attorney to concede that some of the things that he has been charged with by the special counsel Jack Smith are definitely not covered by immunity.
I think that's right, Jake. And the reason why that's so important is because you can build out from there, sending this back to the trial court. And I think the question becomes twofold. First, are there 5 justices, perhaps Justice Barrett, the 3 Democratic appointees, and Chief Justice Roberts, who can agree on what the line is that puts those acts on the prosecutable side and maybe some other things not? And then, Jake, second, timing. If that agreement exists, if there is at least 5 votes for that proposition, how quickly can the justices write that opinion, especially if there are separate opinions, concurrences, or dissents from the other 4 Republican appointees, from Justices Thomas, Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh? And so I think, where's John Roberts, and how quickly can he draw a line that at least Justice Barrett and the 3 Democratic appointees are comfortable with sending back to the lower court? That's the real takeaway I have after that 2-hour and almost 50-minute argument.
Ellie, do you agree?
I do, Jake. It looks to me like we could be headed for a Richard Nixon-like resolution here, and here's what I mean.
You mean that quickly?
Not that quickly, but in terms of the way it comes out. Richard Nixon resolution was within 2 weeks or so. It's going to take longer. 1974, Richard Nixon gets a subpoena. He says, but I have executive privilege. That was never recognized by the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court comes back a couple weeks later, says, good news, bad news. Good news is, you're right, there is such thing as executive privilege. Bad news, it does not apply to you in this situation, Richard Nixon. And it could well be that this court says, for the first time in history, yes, there is such thing as immunity, criminal immunity for the president. However, it does not ultimately apply to you, Donald Trump, on the facts here. The question is, how much do they have to go through to get there? How much time is it going to take? And I agree, we could well see a remand back to the district court, which will take plenty of time.
All right, let me throw it to Caitlin Collins right outside the court. Caitlin?
Yeah, Jake, fascinating to listen to those conversations and Trump's attorney making those arguments. I've got my panel back here with me, Paula Reed and Casey Hunt. And Paula, there was a moment that we were all listening to that caught everyone's ear where it was Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson essentially asking the reverse of what Trump's attorney was arguing, which was, he's saying if this is what Jack Smith and the government says it is, then future presidents are going to be chilled. They're not going to be able to make decisions as bold and fearlessly as we've seen presidents do for the last over 200 years. And she kind of reversed that questioning to him. I want to listen to that moment, because it was a few hours ago, of what Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson had to ask to Trump's attorney.
If someone with those kinds of powers, the most powerful person in the world, with the greatest amount of authority, could go into office knowing that there would be no potential penalty for committing crimes, I'm trying to understand what the disincentive is from turning the Oval Office into, the seat of criminal activity in this country. If the potential for criminal liability is taken off the table, wouldn't there be a significant risk that future presidents would be emboldened to commit crimes with abandon while they're in office?
I mean, that is really reversing their argument, basically turning it on its head.
Yeah, exactly. And it acknowledges that the task before the justices right now is to set the standard for criminal liability for all presidents in the future. And it's pretty clear from what we heard that the majority of justices are not willing to just toss out the special counsel's case. And as you heard there from her, she's like, you could potentially make the Oval Office, right, this hotbed of crime. And it was interesting, too, from the Trump legal team. We even heard them kind of draw down some of their argument because Justice Amy Coney Barrett, she got one of Trump's lawyers to concede that not everything in this indictment was an official act. That was so significant. And so that's kind of the bad news for Trump, right? But the good news is that Chief Justice John Roberts clearly believes that the lower courts did not do enough to suss out exactly what is an official act versus a private act. So what they're setting up here is likely the justices are going to come up with some sort of test and then send it back down to the lower courts for more litigation. And what that means is that we could maybe all be sitting here again in a year after more litigation at the lower court level. Or if Trump is reelected, he can make this case go away. So even if he's not likely poised for a legal win at the high court, strategically, it sounded like this is going to be a win for him.